r/adulting. Venice Magical says, how to ask a neighbor to quiet down. This has been going on nearly every night for a while. They are newly moved into the building and I don't know how to ask them nicely to quiet down. I'm putting this under their apartment door, but I wonder if y'all had any better ideas in how to communicate to get this girl some sleep. Included photo. Can't Stop Fishes says, I love the proud of you. Waxing Through World says, have you considered role-playing? Might I suggest Secret Library 6, Spies in the Middle of a Tense Mission, Forbidden Mamish Moments, Aliens Have Taken Over Like in a Quiet Place. Snoo Strawberry 620 says, I choked on my own spit at this. Cream Legacy says, Forbidden Mamish Moments is cries I. Checkmate says, I think that's the right approach. Also, should they not stop, then I would also invest in some noise cancelling headphones. Or buy a mouth gag bowl and drop it in front of their door with a second note. Automator 3000 says, that's cute. But I would see that and wonder why a middle school child was writing a note to me about my sex life. I think it's the lined paper that's throwing me off. Last time I had a noisy sex neighbor, I just applauded really loudly. As if I had just seen the best concert from my favorite band. I did that once. They were tame after that. Marian says, honestly, the childishness of it kinda works on the hey this is an appropriate front. 59 Flower Pots says, start yelling faster towards the end and maybe they'll get the hint. Princess Bibble says, this sounds good to me. Send it, update us on the progress. MM502987 says, plot twist, they are not having constant sex, the sounds are coming from their noisemaker. The deafening silence of you not having sex is keeping them up at night. Ariana Dooman says, this was absolutely precious, and I can tell you as a girl who has loud sex and is as frick, I'd really appreciate this over any other approach. I would absolutely be closing my windows and throwing on some music next round. Probably also making you some cookies lol. Emma Donaldson says, awesome note. Great way to deal with this situation. Numeralcius Today 125 says, if someone told me they were proud of me for my sexual activities, I would probably become an Orthodox monk. Known Vermicelli 706 says, this is how you ask. Same second 40-16 says, tell them that you are going to call the sex police. Red Aquolf says, you can also scream harder daddy when they are being loud. Steampunky says, perfect. Proud of you, how can anyone take offense? Country Gal 87 says, I live in an apartment and I had to take my mattress to my living room because of my neighbor's sex life. I'm also tired. Fit Paleontologist 339 says, a noise complaint is an option. I have asked nicely before and nothing was done until ultimately calling the police. Then after that they knew it was likely me that called the police, since I asked nicely in person a couple times. OK Presentation 5329 says, if they don't want to close the blinds, I may consider a flashlight and a pair of binoculars just to creep them out. Then they can code their blinds out of self-preservation. Progs says, why would buying a noisemaker help the neighbor sleep? Trick Telephone 1411 says, they are just enjoying their hummus. Lol. Astilla Brada says, you should try living next to a young deaf couple who is happy to procreate. r/adulting. Blondie with Bondi says, anyone else slowly disliking their friend group and wish they had a different one. 25 female. Don't get me wrong, I wish them all well, and I don't hate them or anything, but I find that the bond I have with them, it's just something that I'm just outgrowing. I wish I had another friend group. I used to have 3 friend groups 3 to 4 years ago. Now I have 1 friend group that I knew since elementary school, and I think I'm just exhausted of them. I just feel like I deserve better, as I find myself to be the most caring and trustworthy friend. Do you think it's okay for me to stay in on weekends rather than hanging with them? I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my life away, but isn't it better to spend it alone and do whatever I want instead of being with people I don't want to be around? Should I take a break, but now make it obvious? Can someone teach me how to not give a frick about this? Jan Vieira says, sometimes you just outgrow people, and it's okay to move on to a new chapter in life. One Construction 20 to 21 says, what happened with your other friends? If this is your only friend group, will you lose your support system? Face with a View says, this is very common and normal and okay. It's why I always internally cringe when I hear about 22-year-olds getting married. You change a lot from who you are in your early 20s-late 20s. Magenta Magica says, oh yeah. I stopped texting first and eventually stopped reaching out, and other than my dude and my dad, nobody cared. Try and get some distance for a week or 2 and see who sticks around or asks how you are. Those are friends and the rest are acquaintances. I also feel better with some distance now. Even if we spent a lot of time together, I never got the sense they valued me as a human being, tbh. Andromeda 98 says, I don't even have a friend group. I have a couple of people I hang out with sometimes, but none of them know each other. Mom Shub says, I got pregnant at 25, and all my friends were drug users and functioning alcoholics. You learn quickly what friendship is really about when that happens. Being 34 female, now, I choose my own comfort and family before I go out. I don't really have a friend circle, but I have some solid individuals I spend time with. The Maxter says, outgrowing friends is natural, but finding friends as an adult is very difficult. Just look at how many threads there are for lonely adults either without friendship or romantic relationships. My friend group I've had since high school, and I still love them to bits. But our friendship hasn't stopped us from moving away, pursuing careers or relationships, just because we want to retain those formative salad days of messing around in a band or playing video games to the wee mornings. I think staying in touch with them, but ensuring you prioritize your well-being and growth ahead of them would do you good. Hopefully they will understand that you gotta handle your shit first. My Psyking says, people often outgrow each other. Brownie0109 says, part of life. Perplacafiladi says, people change as they grow up. There's nothing wrong with it. But don't waste your life with people you don't value anymore. Fully move on. Scary Garbage 5952 says, that sounds like what happened to me. I started dropping friend groups and individuals over the years and wish I did it sooner. We have different goals, beliefs, and some ended up becoming terrible people, but because they aren't as bad as their parent they see no reason to fix themselves and their lives. Like Kay complained of never having money but wouldn't get a job that made them work over 20 hours a week and then spend it as soon as they got it. M likes to flirt with their friends' partners and has no regard for others' feelings. L is using people for attention and scares off my friend group I actually like spending time with. P told me to not be with my ex because they were actually in love with me after years of excluding me from friend activities. So I just stopped being friends with a lot of them. I don't mind different religious beliefs. Once it comes to saying how gay people shouldn't be a thing, I had to drop like 5 other people. They know I'm bi. A coworker I had for 6 years always joked about how they wanted the worst for me, so my life could be like a drama. My point is, do what makes you happy, because being around people who make you feel miserable, out of place or like you've outgrown, does nothing for your own character development. Stay safe and hope you end up happy, no matter what you choose. r/adulting. Mecha Fudger Cakes says, how do you manage to quit bad habits like porn before they get worse? I, 27 male, have been battling with bad habits for a while, and porn addiction is definitely the worst of them. I can feel it taking a toll on my mental health, relationships, and productivity. I'm worried that, if I don't get a handle on it now, it's only going to get worse. I've tried quitting before, but I always seem to fall back into the same patterns, and it's getting frustrating. For those of you who have successfully managed to quit bad habits like porn before they escalated, how did you do it? What strategies did you use to stay disciplined and avoid relapsing? I'm looking for advice on how to break free from these destructive behaviors before they cause even more damage in my life. Mr. J says, finding positive hobbies can pull you away from bad ones. 40 hours of work, gym 4, 5x per week, a GF, school full time. Impressive Bus 8412 says, can someone please explain to me how you can get addicted to that sheep porn is like the internet? It's not real life, like literally just stop watching it. Do you seriously not have any self-control to the point you can't go a couple days without masturbating? IDKUIRL, but maybe if you had a job or were in school you would be too tired by the end of the day to even wanna partake in that shit. I feel like the reason PPL get addicted is because they can't get a girl. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir. Dullad7295 says, my advice would be to eliminate access points. Literally get a flip phone if you have to. This probably doesn't help, but I firmly believe some people are genetically wired to have addictive personalities more so than other people. I cannot get addicted to anything for the life of me. Cigarettes. I've smoked weekly for a while, and then daily, and still didn't have so much as a bit of a craving for them when I stopped. I once didn't jerk off for 3 months just to see if I could, because I believed some online BS about it having health benefits, and I did not bust a nut for 3 months. It was frustrating, but not the self-torture that other men made it out to be. I do not feel the need to watch porn, no matter its availability. Sometimes it's fun, but overall I don't need it. I do not feel a craving for alcohol after consuming it regularly for some period. I have no issue staying away, and I believe it is genetic, because my parents are the exact same way. I think how sensitive to addiction you are depends on your genetics. It has also been researched, and well documented, that alcoholism is absolutely, positively a genetic thing. So, for your current addiction, cut off the access points. For your future, don't even begin with stuff that is known to be something addictive, because you have learned that you have the genetic disposition to be addicted to things. Typical Leg 1672 says, realize real sex is a lot quicker and usually less interesting. Low Gold 9593 says, moderate it. Understand that it's entertainment and will be there when you return to it. Invest in other hobbies and other interests as well. Don't pass up opportunities to hang with friends or anything like that. McHall 12 says, just got up, went to gym. Green 5577 says, the thing is, human beings get horny, you need to release, so if you can't find a partner, you're gonna do it yourself, and chances are you're gonna want to look at porn. Suck it situation. Work on your social skills, at least try to meet someone. Mission Room 9958 says, think about death and control your mind. Ask Accomplished 1011 says, there are no solutions, just compromises. I stopped being addicted to porn by reading sexy writing and fantasy more, writing my own, and the like. Listening to tasteful, erotic music and thinking about it through the lens of asexuality. I stopped smoking weed cause I disliked spending $ on it, but I just started to smoke a blend of tea herbs instead. Says a 9900 says. The only thing I can say it after 3,5 months sober from porn is I feel myself changed. Sure, it wasn't easy, especially the first weeks. I didn't do anything special, I just programmed myself to do something else that specific time instead of watching porn, and second of all I convinced myself that all it's fake, so keeping that in mind helped me to avoid it. I'm sure I'm not clean 100%. I still need work to do about it, but I think I'm in the right way. Hiring a hooker in the first weeks was also a choice, but not all the time. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.